we hear things like, we are struggling to stay compliant with sanctions and regulations as they become more frequent and more complex, particularly when risk isn't laid out neatly in a list. We need to stay compliant with narrative sanctions and regulatory guidance that define risk by an entity's behavior or profile, not by its presence on or relation to a list. And we need to do that while maintaining operational scale and efficiency. Sure, a familiar problem. The fact is that the old way of doing this just doesn't uncover all the risk that you need to see. It can't. No matter how good your analysts are, it is impossible to find all of the high risk entities that you currently need to know about by hand at scale. Again, we saw that 10 years ago when we were dealing with relatively simple risk types like list-based screening or sanctions ownership. We are not in that relatively simple world anymore, and if it's impossible to manually curate comprehensive coverage of sanctioned ownership, then it is completely impossible to meet requirements like, screen for any company globally that meets these MEU criteria, or screen for any company globally that has transshipped goods to Russia that correspond to one of these 50 specific HS codes, right? And so trade compliance teams are left exposed and their operational efficiency is compromised.